Well, that guy didn't show up, so how about some comedy instead? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we've got 5 or 6 comedians who are going to do some humor for you guys today. Feel free to come on in. Everything's free today. The comedy, the food. Maybe not. All right, we're going to randomly have you guys pick the comedians in order as they come up and perform. And we're going to kick things off. Larry Love? Larry? Come on up, Larry. Big round of applause.
This is bad. I can't even get the microphone. Hey, man, I'm just Larry Love hanging out in your neighborhood today. Just happy to be hanging, if you know what I mean. Got nothing else to do. I'm unemployed. Thought about looking for jobs, but they said there was going to be comedy down here today. I thought I'd try that out. The only other thing I qualify for is door greeter at Walmart, if you know what I mean. And that's a dangerous job today. Did you see what happened the day after Thanksgiving at Walmart to the door greeter? They trampled him. But those were some good sales, man. You can't blame the people. You got to blame Walmart for putting them old people in there. They just can't get out of the way in time, if you know what I mean. It was sad, though. It really was. But I'm just happy to be hanging. I'm usually in a nursing home this time of day and having a good time up there. Hey, wanted to mention I'm having a tough year sexually. I always keep statistics on my sex life, and this has been a very bad year so far, to be honest with you. Hey, I've gained a lot of weight, and that's not helping me with the women. First time in my life I have big boobs now. Sometimes when I get horny, I go home and play with my own boobs, to be honest with you. Yeah, I know. It's hard to tell what to do down there. I've never done a chili parlor before. That shows you where my comedy career is right now. Hey, I wanted to mention, like I said, it's been tough on me. I've had over 150 sexual experiences this year, but none of them have involved a partner. I tried to turn it into a self-help thing, and I started my own self-help group. It's called Sex Without Partners. We meet every Thursday night, try to figure out how to turn our own selves on, if you know what I mean. Hey, wanted to talk about politics for a second, man. This has been a heck of a year, hasn't it? Just found out in the last 2 or 3 days we're in a recession. I thought something was wrong, man. Hey, there's positives about a recession, though. The good thing is gas prices are down so low you can afford an SUV. The bad thing is all the companies that make them are going out of business. Hey, I'll tell you this, man. You got to admit, this year was a great year. We got a new president. The Republicans wanted to make the changes for us, but we didn't let them do it. You know, the Republicans, this has been a year of diversity, man, if you think about it. And the Republicans, they don't know a lot about diversity. They still think Burger King is Martin Luther King's brother. And I'm going to tell you this, man. You gotta love having Barack in there because we know he can do a good job. We needed a black man to get us out of this mess, man. White people, when we get down in a recession, all we do is sit around and cry and think about killing ourselves. Black person, it's just another day, man. They'll pull us out of this one. Hey, I'll tell you this. If you think about it, some of the best days we ever had was when Bill Clinton was president, man. Bill was a great guy. Bill was having a lot of fun in the Oval Office, but it didn't bother anybody because everybody had jobs, man. We were all happy. Even the illegal Mexicans had jobs back then. Everybody was working, if you know what I mean. But Bill, I'll tell you what, Bill was in office 8 years. And I'm going to be honest with you. In those 8 years, all Bill cared about was love, not war, man. In 8 years, Bill shot 1 missile. And that missile exploded right on Monica Lewinsky's dress, if you know what I mean. Maybe you don't. It's tough to compete with a cheese coney, I'll tell you. I'll tell you, man. Hey, I want to tell you this. You think about George Bush. George Bush has done some things that nobody's ever done as president, if you think about it. George is the first president to make us all equal. Now everybody's for it. Hey, George Bush doesn't want gay people to get married, man. I want gay people to get married. I want them to experience the same unhappiness as the rest of us. This is going well. Hey, let me put it this way to you. When George was in office, George had gas prices up to about $4.50. He's still there. They're down now, but they were at $4.50 a gallon at one time, man. You had to pay before you pumped. That used to get a lot of people mad. Never bothered me. It reminded me of my sex life. I've always had to pay before I pump. Is that too much sex? Hey, I'll tell you this, man. Something you'll never see. George had been chasing them terrorists for years. That's the thing he did that was good. The only good terrorist is a dead terrorist. But I'll tell you, the kind of terrorist you'll never see. You'll never see a black suicide bomber. Black people don't commit suicide, man. Black people are actually happy people. It's white people that commit suicide. Hey, when a white man gets depressed, he kills himself. When a black man gets depressed, he kills his neighbor. And I wanted to mention to you too, man, it's been trying to think of something that'll work here. Want to talk to you a little bit about football. You can tell I'm hello? Hello? Did you turn it down some? Okay, that's good. Nobody will hear these jokes now. Hey, football, man. The UC Bearcats, man, they've been doing very well. We got any UC Bearcat fans in here? Yeah. Hey, man, they're on top for a change. I couldn't believe it. People asked me, they said, what do you think the odds were of UC being in the Orange Bowl? I said, I thought there was better odds of having a black president, to be honest with you. But they're there. That's all that counts, man. Doing a good job. Hey, I wanted to mention to you, too, I don't watch pro football anymore. I quit watching that, man. I always keep thinking they're trying to knock the white guy out of pro football, but there's still positions in football that the white guy's still the best at, like the referee position. That's the one we still control, man. We're the best at calling penalties, if you know what I mean. Hey, I'll tell you what, I want to tell you a little bit about my family. Not that you really care. But we're a dysfunctional family. In fact, I love my children, but I did the best I could with them, but they got arrested a whole lot. In fact, they got arrested so much the Cincinnati Bengals tried to draft them. And I'm going to tell you this, man, I love them. My kids, they were entrepreneurs. They started a business right out of my house, a drug business. I can still remember the day that cops sent in the drug sniffing dogs. They both overdosed. It was terrible. Hey, I'm gonna let the next comedian come up. Hopefully he'll do a little bit better, but I'm Larry Love. Thank you very much.
Larry Love. You can catch him at Golden Corral next week as we continue the food service industry show. All right, next up, we're gonna draw another name. And as per tradition, we're going to have somebody, sir, why don't you draw this name? Any of these? Uh-oh, that's me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Why don't you draw again? All right, welcome again to Skyline Chili. Good to see so many wonderful folks out here. We do have law enforcement in the back, just in case the Bengals do show up. And big round of applause for the folks at Skyline Chili. They're cooking, and they are washing their hands, too, before they cook. So, very sanitary. I see Purell everywhere. Good job. Yeah. All right. In the spirit of Skyline, raise your hand if you'd like to join me later for a three-way. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. No, oh, there? Okay. That's it. I don't swing that way, but the day is still young. No, I'm kind of bored. Welcome in, guys. See, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Appreciate your support next November. All right. My name is Michael Crisp. I am from Georgetown, Kentucky, home of the Bengal training camp. Yeah, cool. You been to Georgetown?
I grew up down here.
Grew up?
Scott County Middle.
Scott County Middle. All right. I don't recognize you. Legally, I'm not allowed to be within 1,000 feet of a schoolyard for some questionable judgment. Questionable judgment, but good to see you nonetheless. And I am part Irish and part Baptist, which is an interesting combination. Basically means that I love to drink, but when the grandparents come over, I have to hide it. Yeah, and I was born up in Detroit, and then moved to Georgetown, Motor City. It's cool. Yeah, I was born up there, moved down here. I'm not really what you'd say. I'm not really a hip hop kind of guy. I'm not really straight out of Compton. I'm probably more straight out of Coleraine. Yeah. Cool. And my career hasn't really taken off lately. This has pretty much been the highlight. I was featured on a major television show just a few weeks ago. Yeah, To Catch a Predator. Yeah. That's right. I was just there for the lemonade. I can't wait for the celebrity edition of To Catch a Predator. It's going to be good. Mary Kay Letourneau. Featuring your host, R. Kelly. Yeah, thanks. Cool. All right. Let's see. Other different things. I've been watching a lot of television lately, and there's so many different shows out there. Like, for instance, you guys watch Deal or No Deal? Yeah. Yeah, you spend a half an hour opening suitcases and closing them and opening them, all that kind of stuff. They call it Deal or No Deal. I call it the Cincinnati Airport. But don't bump. Yo. Yeah, but the other show I watch a lot of is what's it called? Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Yeah. I'd like to think that I'm smarter than a fifth grader. I tricked him into my van, didn't I? That's right. Yeah. I'm kind of bummed, though. I just got out of a long-term relationship. Yeah, it's called Amway. I got 3 or 4 follow-ups with that, but no. Based on that response, we won't go down that road. All right, that's, I guess that's pretty much all the time I have. I'd like to thank the celebrities that did show up to support us, namely Mr. Dave Chappelle. Big round of applause. Your money, we need you back on TV. And once again, our wait staff here at Skyline, always taking care of you. Round of shots on Quinn. Come on, round of shots out here. All right. Cool. All right, we'll turn things over to our next comedian. And based on random draw, young lady, how you doing? All right, would you mind drawing one of these names? All right, my good friend, Mr. Jimmy Davis.
All right.
Thank you. Don't let me bother your eating. I am Jimmy Davis, and I am from Peebles, Ohio. If you don't know where that is, just head out to the middle of nowhere, take a left, and wait till you see about $3 or $4 stores, and you're there. And I was really excited, just as I was watching people go by the window who actually have jackets that don't say NASCAR and Carhartt, because that's a real refresher. So this past Thursday was Thanksgiving, and it was a very big deal because my grandma actually put on a bra. First time in, I guarantee, 17 years. And my little brother almost got her to fix her hair. Almost. And the thing I love about my grandma's house is that she smokes so much that the ceiling is yellow, and that you can actually move the magnets on the refrigerator and see what color it used to be. And I think it's the highlight of my holidays that I can smell like Misty Menthol Light 100s for about 40 days. Just all year round, that's what I want to smell like. I did get a seat on the couch this year because my uncle was in jail for possession and assault. Apparently, when you don't use your words and you strangle someone, they frown on that. He actually called, and half my family pretended they weren't there on Thanksgiving. And so I told my mom, I guess it's okay to lie now, and apparently strangle people. So that's the stock that I come from. Thank you, Penny and Davis families. But I don't think anyone summed it up better than when the 6-year-old said, when they said, come on, you know, we're getting ready to go, put your shoes on. And he said, thank God. The food here is good, but I can't take this anymore. And I thought, me too. And of course, then you got Black Friday. I went with my brother. Oh, let me just tell you about my brother first so you just get a clear picture. Every day he flat irons his hair. And if anyone has seen the show Will and Grace, he's sort of like Karen and Jack mixed together. Because he's always like, Jimmy, what's going on here? What are you doing? What are you wearing? You think just because those shoes are green, they go with that shirt? Because they don't go like that. And if you were wearing that hat in that store, I'm not going in with you. I swear to God, I'm not going in with you. Not doing it, not doing it. So he took me to Black Friday at Walmart, and so we had to go an hour early. It was like a freaking military operation. We had to scope out the joint. He like strategically put us in places. He's like, now Jimmy, when they cut that plastic, you grab 3 sandwich makers and head over to the blender display. Grab 2. We rendezvous at shoes. And I'm like, should I get a cart? Don't get a cart, it'll weigh you down. And if you lose a shoe, forget it. We'll buy new. They're on sale. And you know it's bad, like when the Walmart employees are like holding hands and praying before they cut the plastic. Like that's definitely a bad sign. So I elbowed someone and got a sandwich maker and just did what I had to do. My brother actually, honestly, got in a car accident last Friday because he had been out shopping since 3 in the morning. And I told him, I said, you know, Justin, it's Black Friday, not Blackout Friday. So please don't fall asleep when you're driving again. And I hope your discount copy of Aquila and the Bee was worth it. I hope it was, but I honestly doubt it. Of course, Thanksgiving has got to be better than Davis Family Reunion just because we don't play games. There's one game where the cousin that you don't like lowers a donut into your mouth on a string and you have to try to eat it. And I lose 2 or 3 cousins a year that way. And one game that they don't tell you about is one person makes 12 pieces of chicken, and there's like 60 people. And then they ring that triangle because we're Appalachian, and people run. And if you get a drumstick, that's like a Medal of Honor, and you brought honor to your family for the year round. So it's pretty special. And one game we have, which is a big fan favorite, is called the Watermelon Crawl. Now, if you don't know what this is, let me break it down for you. They take a watermelon, they grease it up with Vaseline, and they dump it in the middle of a dirty lake. And then all your relatives swim into the middle and try to get the watermelon to the shore. And you know what you win? The greased up watermelon that all your relatives have touched, that's been soaking in bacteria-infested water. What a prize! What a prize! I won it once, but it was on land. And I don't know if anybody's been watching TLC lately, but how about that's my new favorite channel. I just hope that I have twins that are dwarves and one of them is a transsexual so I can get my own show. That is what I desire. But I love the one with the lady and she doesn't have any arms and so she does everything with her feet. And like she's making her kids lunch and the kids are like, no Mom, really, it's okay. I can make my own chicken salad, seriously. No, I can tuck my own shirt in, I don't need your help. Stop Mom, stop. Oh. And what is with that darn Duggar family that have like 18 kids? And like, I don't know what religion they are, like they all wear the skirts and they have that frizzy permed out hair, and I guarantee you she's the only person with a perm that's had 18 kids, you know what I mean? But the funny thing is they don't kiss before they get married. They don't. Like, on their wedding day they kiss, and I think that if maybe they kissed a little bit more, wouldn't have 18 kids. And also, there's a guy at work who is like whatever religion they are, like his wife and kids, they all wear the skirts and have the big teased out hair. So I've worked there for like a few weeks and I got him at Secret Santa. I totally got him a used Playboy from Amazon. The pages are a little sticky, but it's okay. He'll totally like it. And they also don't wear makeup, and I really don't think that Jesus would care if you just did a little, just made it up a little bit for Jesus. I mean, he's seen enough hardship in his life. He was nailed to a tree. He's pretty much had it rough. And sometimes when people say, what would Jesus do? Not always, great to live by, but not always good in certain situations. For example, if you were held up in a bank robbery, and you were like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And the person beside you is like, well, what would Jesus do? Like, I'll tell you what Jesus do. Jesus would get a handle on this situation. Jesus would blow these guys away. That's what Jesus would do. But he's not here. And if they ask somebody to get killed, I'm voting for you. I'm voting for you. All right, I'm gonna pass it off to the next comedian. I'm Jimmy Davis. Thank you.
That was Jimmy Davis, thus completing his work release program. Next up, we've got another comedian, and we're going to let you guys come on in. Are you guys coming in to view the body? Let's hear. Pay your respects. Would you mind taking one of these two there? Alrighty. Oh, and they're just giving it back. All right. That's all right. Cool. Next up, every woman's fantasy, every parent's nightmare, Andy.
Hey, thank you. Hey, give it up for everybody you've seen so far tonight. Thank you. All right, how you guys doing? All right. Cincinnati, Ohio. Dreams come true, ladies and gentlemen. This is awesome, man. This is cool. My dad was excited. He's like, oh, dude, you're doing stand-up now. You're doing Comedy Central. You're doing the Tonight Show. I'm like, I'm doing a chili bar at noon. So this is, I'm moving up, man. How you guys doing? This is cool. Trying to break into show business. I think the chili bar has definitely topped it. Taking all these acting classes, you know, and this one class is cool because I get to make out with this beautiful girl in this scene, you know? So I'm like telling all my friends, like, this is so cool, I get to make out with this girl, it's awesome. But then I feel bad because she's got to go and tell her friends she's making out with me, right? Like, can you imagine her sitting with her friends like, how was your day? Like, cool, I get to make out with a hobbit. Yeah, nice. Because I don't feel like the whole women stereotype, you know? It's like, ladies, what are you always looking for? Tall, dark, and handsome. Just missed it, yeah. Because very rarely do I hear women sitting around going, you know, I'm looking for shy, short, and chubby. Yeah. But it's cool being short, right? You know, it's cool being short. You can fit into small places. That's the good thing. The only problem being chubby, you get stuck, so it doesn't really work out too well. But this is cool. You know, being a comedian, how you doing, sir? So you don't mean to interrupt your lunch. It's cool. It's cool being a comic, starting to travel a little bit. There's not a lot to do in the day, so I've been watching a lot of Discovery Channel, you know. I saw this one special on sloths, and apparently the sloth is so slow, moss will grow on its leg. And it's a little weird because it's actually a known fact that the slowest creature in the world is the cornerback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Am I right? Right, man? I'll take your laugh as a standing ovation anywhere else. I really appreciate it. It's great to be here. Like I said, starting to travel a little bit. I just did a show in Fargo, North Dakota not too long ago. That was fun. Yeah, you gotta be funny there. They throw you in a wood chipper, you know? It's a little strange. Gotta be careful there. So, this is great. Chili bar. I've done 2 minutes. The longest 2 minutes of my life, but it's awesome. I appreciate you guys having me here. It's cool. You guys have a good Thanksgiving? Yeah. I love Thanksgiving because you always have to deal with the relatives no one really wants to talk to. If you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, we don't have any relatives like that. You're probably the relative nobody really wants to talk to. It was cool. I got to go visit my grandparents, which was a lot of fun. I love my grandparents because they've reached that age where they don't fight and argue anymore. They'll just end every argument by going, bah. Where's the remote? You had it last. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. My grandma's great. She's a very religious woman, you know? Like, she thinks she sees signs from God everywhere. Like, we were on a beach one time, and she's like, oh, Andy, I know God exists because everywhere I go, I'm being followed by ducks. And I was like, first of all, Grandma, those are seagulls. And they're only following us because we have food. My grandpa's cool, but I feel bad for him because he's starting to lose his memory, you know? Like, he'll come walking down the steps going, oh, man, I'm forgetting to do something. What am I forgetting? And I'm like, Grandpa, I think you're forgetting to wear pants. Twice he's been kicked out of Denny's for that, so we gotta kind of keep an eye out on him. So this is cool. I always see people like holding fingers up. I wasn't sure if that's how much time I had left. The lady in the back was holding up 6. I'm like, really? 6 more minutes of this. No, it's cool. This is just a cool job being a comedian. It beats the first job I had when I got out of college. I did something dumb. I taught middle school, and I taught for about a year, and I learned something about kids. I'm not a big fan. No, because they're gross. You know, they come back from gym, they're all sweaty, trying to hug you. Mr. Beningo, I'm like, you smell like a hamster. It's gross. Don't touch me. But before you get the full-time job, you gotta substitute teach, and that's like the scariest. And one time they put me in kindergarten, and that was really scary because they're like little Tasmanian devils, you know? They're like flipping stuff over, like squirting glue in their mouth, and I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna die. It's like a terrible thing to say if you're the guy in charge. But there's one little move you can always do to get the little kid's attention, and I'm not sure if any of your teachers did this as a little kid. Anyone know what that is? It's the quiet coyote. Yeah, look, his mouth is closed, but his ears are open for listening. It only worked in kindergarten. I'm in the middle school like, come on you guys, quiet coyote. They're like, whatever, you're a loser. They're like flipping desks over, you know? Like it worked in high school, right? Like a couple of tough football kids, shut up dude, he's doing the coyote, shut up. He's suspended, stop it. Yeah, but like I said, graduated from college. It was the best 6 years of my life, you know. I should have studied a little more in college. I think that was my problem. Instead, I'd always wait to do everything in the last minute. I'd pull an all-nighter. And like, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you think you sound like a genius. You're like typing the paper, you're like, yeah, and then you reread it the next morning, you're like, that's not even a sentence. I'm totally gonna fail. But this has been absolutely awesome. I really appreciate you guys letting me come up and do some time. I hope you have a good lunch. Thank you.
All right, guys, you all having a good time? You are? Nice. Okay, want to remind everybody we got a very special event this evening, 5 Minutes of Funny, over at the Lodge on East 7th Street, 6:30 to 9, plus an after party over at Quinn's house. It's $5 to get in tonight, where you're going to see a lot of comedians, a lot of really good good folks there. Next up, we're going to bring, we got 2 more comedians for you, and next up we got Brandon. 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 Brandon.
Thank you.
Thank you! Thank you! Skyline chili! Skyline chili and Gold Star chili, the blood and Crips of hot dogs. We going with the Skyline, baby. I grew up in Skyline Acres, so I represent a little bit too, so yeah. Alright, if you ain't ever met me before or seen me before, I'm gonna let you know who I am, a little bit about myself. I have a mild case of cerebral palsy. I don't swim in a circle. I don't do handstands. And I'd be damned if I do a cartwheel for anybody. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about funny stuff. When I was a little kid, I was weird. Not that I'm but situations. When I was a kid, I thought that white women had white milk in their breasts, black women had chocolate milk, Chinese ladies had eggnog, I don't know. So that was weird. I got a question. If it's Christmas time and you ain't got no chimney in your house, where does Santa Claus go? Does he come through the vent? I don't know, that's just me. We used to leave Santa Claus ramen noodles and stuff. Yeah, we had to, we had no choice. Is she waving at me? I don't know, some lady waving at me. Hi, baby. Yes, girl. Okay, if you haven't recognized or realized it yet, but I'm skinny. I'm so skinny, if I sneeze, my nipples will touch right now. Only funny to me. I have a question. Actually, hold on, wait a minute. Has anybody ever seen the movie E.T.? Do you know that's a very, very sad movie about a little alien that got left on Earth by himself? That's child abuse. Hey, your mama gonna leave you on Earth. You know, little kids gave me Reese's Pieces and stuff. Aliens don't eat Reese's Pieces. That's why he was getting sick. He was in a hospital all ashy and stuff. The whole time he like, E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home. Let him use the phone. So he called his mama. He trying to make a phone on the speaking spell. I tried that. It don't work. That don't connect with no kid. Freak kid or something. Speaking of holidays, when I was little, I wanted to be a California raisin for Halloween because I'm an 80s baby and California raisins was cool in the 80s. So I said, Mama, I want to be a raisin. She was like, all right. I said, let's go to Big Lots and get a costume. She said, no. Go in the kitchen and get a black garbage bag. Go upstairs and get my stockings and some white gloves. So I'm like, cool. So I get my garbage bag and I put it on, and she put like mass toilet paper in my costume so I was plump like a raisin. And I'm walking down the street like, yeah, I was cool. Next thing you know, little kids were putting trash in my costume. I'm like, I'm a raisin. I am not a garbage bag. I was crying. Rumpke came to pick me up and took me to the mountain. That sucks. I don't know, man. I have a problem. I used to be a pothead, or maybe am still now. But I didn't go to high school. I went to school high. That was my problem. I don't know. I don't have nothing else to go with that. I was just sharing that information. I thought of something last night. This is just out of the blue. When does Superman smoke pot? Wouldn't that be cool? Because he'd be like super high, like. Never mind. I thought of that last night. It's not funny. Hey, when I was a kid, like I said, I'm an 80s baby. Cabbage Patch Kids were really popular when I was little. Where are they now? Shouldn't they be like 25 or something? The Cabbage Patch Kids have a job, but they evolved. All right, that wasn't that fun either. It's crazy. Anybody have a happy Thanksgiving? I have a question, people. How come we rush Christmas through Thanksgiving? Before Thanksgiving even pop up, you got Christmas commercials. Give Thanksgiving a chance. How come there ain't no giant turkey at the mall for the little kids to see? Go and tell Tommy Turkey what you want for Thanksgiving. What you want for dinner, little kids? I want some yams and some sweet potatoes. Wait, that's the same thing. I want some turkey. Never mind. I don't know, man. But I grew up here in Cincinnati, and it's rough here in Cincinnati. We need to stick together, black people, white people, because it's crazy. It's so bad in Cincinnati. I'm walking down the street the other day down Vine, and I seen the German Shepherd, and he was crying. I said, German Shepherd, what's wrong? Why are you crying? How is life in Cincinnati for you? The German Shepherd turned around and said, rough. And I said, wow. I said, German Shepherd, what's that stuff on that tree over there? He turned around and said, bark. Thank you, that was for you. I don't know, anybody ever seen a movie called Child's Play? You ever seen Child's Play? With the little dog Chucky? How the hell he gonna kill somebody? He a little toy. I will kick his little ass. I'm sorry to say that. But he be sneaking up on people. He's not like Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger will jump out and stab you. Jason will chop your head off. Chucky a punk. He be hanging underneath the bed, waiting on you with a butter knife. He jump out the cabinet behind your favorite cereal on you. You be, what, Chucky? The hell? I don't know. I have a question. Did you know that a thong is just an automatic wedgie? For real, you can just buy a wedgie. Like, I already have one. I don't know. But yes, it's always been my dream to perform at a hot dog bar, man. No, you didn't. Just say something about my mama on a piece of paper. No, you did. I'm joking. Goodness. Man. All right, check this out. I'm a very big Bootsy Collins fan. Where are my Bootsy fans at? Anybody here Bootsy Collins? Somebody. of y'all. Yeah, and the one lady over there. I love Bootsy Collins so much. You know, he's from Cincinnati, so I got to send some love and support. But I love Bootsy so much that I wish he would deliver my bad news. Wouldn't that be cool? Because his voice is so pleasant. I wish he would just call me up like, "Oh, Brandon, Duke is about to cut your electric off. You better send him $20 to $30. Oh, baby." That Bootsy looked like he'd have his own cereal. Couldn't you see Bootsy Collins on the cereal box like, "Oh, yeah, baby." What would the commercial be like? "Oh, wake up, little kids. Put away the bacon and eggs and get your brother a bowl of Booty Fruities." The little kids be like, "Yeah, Bootsy." Like, "Remember, baby, the groove is in the crunch." Hey, my turtleneck is hot and I can't breathe. I love you guys very, 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 very much. You can find me at myspace.com/Kookie1. That's myspace.com/KOOKYWUN. My name is Brandon. I represent Cincinnati to the fullest. Call rain, Cincinnati, everywhere. I love you. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
All right, goodbye, everybody. We will see you at the White Castle at 3:30 p.m. Oh, we got time for one more? All right, come on up.
I'm like, hold up, I only brought 45 people here. Where's my people at? All right, woo! I ain't got an extra one. All right, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Okay, so, I just want to tell you guys, I'm bringing this up, make sure I'm clean and pristine today here at Skyline. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not the thinnest girl on the planet. I have lost 50 pounds over the last year. Yeah. But you know, growing up a big girl, that's not easy. Especially at recess, I'm last picked for kickball. Only got picked on the soccer team because I took up half the goal. Just one time I wanted to hear, Red Rover, send that fat dysfunctional kid right over. But no, never got to hear that. I'm originally from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Yeah, pretty exciting place, Cedar Rapids. We do have our own baseball team though. It's called the Cedar Rapids Colonels. Not colonels in the Army. Kernels of corn. Our mascot is a giant ear of corn, and he walks around handing out salt and butter packets. It's really humiliating. I've been dating in Cincinnati, but I finally have a boyfriend after 4 years. I know, it's pretty exciting. I met him on Craigslist. Yeah, it's like the Big Lots of the internet personals world. You know, it's kind of the last step before you get a mail order husband. And so I was filling out my order form for this hot Ukrainian guy. And I thought, no, let me check the casual encounters section one more time. And there I found Shane, the sweetheart I have now. But dating in Cincinnati has not been easy. I tried a lot of different things. I tried this thing called dinner dates. It's where you go out and you have dinner. You pay $35 and you have dinner with 8 people you don't know. One guy, I think it was this guy over here, he walked in, paid the money, looked at the women, and left. Then I tried speed dating, and that didn't work out so well. They say they match you up with people that are similar to you. The first guy I got was about 400 pounds, mentally handicapped, and in a wheelchair. It's not really my type, I don't think. And then I tried Match.com. And I met, hey Marla, hi! I tried Match.com, and the first date I had with this guy on Match.com, he comes over and he goes, "How you like my $6 shirt? I thought I should go to Walmart and get something pretty for you." We dated for about 6 months. And then I tried eHarmony. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. I tried eHarmony when I lived back in Iowa, and I was actually told on eHarmony that there were no matches in the entire state of Iowa for me. I had to move to get a date. So I moved. Cincinnati, not any better. I'm 35 years old. I am very, very adorable. And guys my age, they want to date girls in their 20s. That is a mistake. Girls in their 20s have hopes and dreams. I have none of that. Did have a date with a guy a couple months ago, and I got 2 words for you. Fanny pack. Yeah, I was on a date in public with a guy in 2008, and he had on a fanny pack. We were at Chipotle, because that's the really nice, classy place he chose to take me, and the guy stirring the rice looked up, saw the offending butt attire, and just shook his head and thought, you know, my life isn't so bad. At least I'm not with fanny pack. So I did have a date a while back. I was dating this guy who was actually in our office for a while. And let's play a little game. He's a construction guy. Let's play a little game, everybody. Let's guess how many dead animals he had in his living room. Anybody? 5? Oh, no. 7? No. Any guesses? 9. No, he did not have 9 cats, you little bastard. He had 9 dead animals in his living room. That's the prospect of dating in Cincinnati. The best shot for me is a guy with 9 dead animals who invites me over on a Saturday night to come to Williamsburg and watch Rambo. Yeah, and I went back every 2 weeks, every time he called. All right, well, thank you so much, everybody. Woo! Thank you. Yeah. Thanks to Quinn for setting this up. Have a good lunch, everybody. Thank you.
All right, in closing, we want to say happy birthday, Gail. Happy birthday, Gail. Goodbye, thank you. Oh, yeah.